Hey guys, Dissection of Violence here. We're gonna get into it. UFC Vegas 92. A lot of cancellations, new matchups. We'll get right into it. Starting out, we got Emily Ducote versus Vanessa Demopoulos. Interesting fight. One girl really likes to go for it, and Vanessa Demopoulos. She has not the greatest striking, but she goes for it. Like I said, swings and tries to at least go for the KO, even though her skill set does not really allow her to, be very successful doing that. I think Emily Ducote is the more skillful fighter. She's also a black belt, better fight IQ. She's just very experienced, well-rounded, and I think she's going to cause her a lot of problems. I think especially in the clinch, I think Emily Ducote is going to have a lot of success in the clinch. I think if she doesn't get taken down early, I think a live spot for Ducote is very live. Yeah, I just think Vanessa Demopoulos is just too much reliant on her jiu-jitsu. She's good off her back, but she just is too content off her back for my liking. I think Emily Ducote will ride out top position and do the right things to win a decision, whereas I can't say the same for Vanessa. I feel like Vanessa is a lot more submission over position, and I just can't trust that. And but the only thing that driving me off this fight is the price. Emily Ducote negative 300. I mean, she should win, but that's a little bit steep for a girl that keeps winning split decisions. And this fight could go to a split decision, so definitely some value on the Demopoulos side, but I just want nothing to do with this fight. Um, yeah, this is just a very volatile fight. But yeah, I'm gonna side with Ducote here. I think Ducote wins by decision. I like the over in this spot. Um, and yeah, I'm interested to see how this fight plays out. I wouldn't take the spread prop on Demopoulos just because Ducote could get a 30-27 in there with a judge's scorecard. Moving on though, we got Alatengheili versus Clayton Rodrigues. Alatengheili is all right. He has a decent striking background. He faced some pretty good guys. I think the problem with Alatengheili is he's a bit predictable. Got pretty good solid fundamentals, but he has some loss like split decision with Ryan Benoit. I don't like. Um, Chris Gutierrez beat him soundly. Casey Kenny beat him soundly. He's got some good experience, like the Dana Baccarel win. Kaya Sakura got KO'd by Kaya Sakura. Um, he fought Dennis Purich. He got KO'd by Dennis Purich. Like these are just some bad signs when you're fighting a guy like Clayton Rodrigues, who is also very explosive, very dangerous. I think Clayton Rodrigues is the side as a pick. Value wise, it's leaning more Alatengheili. He's with a good team at the at the at Fight Ready. Alatengheili has a good coaches behind him with Santino DeFranco. Um, I just feel like that gym does a lot for the Mongolians, for these Chinese fighters, gives them good game plans, good strategies, and I feel like he's going to employ one here. He's going to need to mix in the grappling to win, which is why I'm taking Clayton. I feel like Clayton is going to look better optic-wise for the judges. I feel like Clayton is a little more flashy, and yeah, this is interesting. It all depends on Clayton's cardio, how he can hold up. Alexander's going to be pressuring him probably from start to finish, so interested to see how this fight plays out. I like me some Clayton Rodrigues. I just wouldn't play this fight. It's a pretty volatile fight. A better live spot in all honesty. But yeah, moving on, we have Pierre Rodrigues versus Ariane Carnelossi. This fight is another volatile one. Another one where my pick is going to be Pierre, strictly off skill and volume and scrappiness. But honestly, this is a close fight. It's a coin flip fight. We got Carnelossi, who's just pure power, pure raw power, coming to swing bombs, throw big slams. Get she doesn't have the finest wrestling, but she's strong, which makes up for her lack of wrestling knowledge. I think she can find the win here against Piera, but I'm gonna side with Piera doing the right things, like being the more effective striker. Definitely an interesting fight though. Don't want to bet on it. It's just too volatile, but I do like Piera as a fighter. People say she has bad cardio. It's not the best cardio, but like she's got experience 5 rounds. She knows how to, you know, clutch out wins. The only issue is when she's on her back, she's a bit lost, and her grappling isn't the greatest. Whereas Ariana Carnellossi's jiu-jitsu is pretty good, but her wrestling isn't great. And I think Pierre's initial takedown defense is is good enough to stop Ariana Carnelossi. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna lean the Rodrigues side. Definitely not a fight you want to bet on. Very volatile fight, but yeah. Value side says Carnelossi, but my prediction is Piera. So take with that what you will. I'm not touching this fight. I'm gonna enjoy it though. Gonna be a good one. Both ladies come to scrap. Both ladies. I can't see uh, this fight being boring. I mean, it could be if Carnelossi has her way with her on the ground, but I just don't see Carnelossi having a lot of success with the grappling. And if she does, it's going to be pure strength. So we'll see. Moving on though from this fight, we have Abus Magomedov taking on um, Warley Alves. Warley Alves is a veteran. He's a veteran who has nasty kicks, very solid offense, but his defense is not great. He's tough. He's not that old, but in his career, he's been TKO'd. Um, damn. He's been TKO'd 3 times, I think, and all of them has been recent. I just got TKO'd by Kraus, Wells. It's just not a good look. Um, he's got a nasty guillotine. Um, he's got a decent skill set. Like he's not like he's a bad fighter. It's hard to say all Warley Alves fade him because the guy he's fighting him, Abus Magomedov, other than like some first round finishing props for his TKO, this guy isn't that great, honestly. And I could see him causing Warley problems, but at the price, I just don't want to touch this fight. I think Abus wins, but it's not like a huge like, oh, I need to bet this fight. I feel like he wins first 2 rounds pretty decisively. I feel like he loses the last round. So I'm going to go with a boost TKO or decision. I feel like that's probably the most likely path to victory for a boost. Warley Alves obviously could upset and get a later rounds finish. But I don't want anything to do with this fight. I think this is a very volatile fight. A boost cannot be trusted. Neither can Warley Alves. Um, Definitely a fight that I'm looking forward to watching, though. It should be action packed. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going with Abus by TKO or decision. And yeah, moving on, we got Tamaris Vidal versus Melissa Gatto. Another interesting fight, but it's a little more linear because Melissa Gatto, skill for skill, is better than Tamaris Vidal. She's got better jiu-jitsu, better striking. She's longer. She's more experienced by a little bit. She has better competition, face better competition. Um, I just think Gatto knows what to do to win. Her losses aren't bad. Tracy Cortez just out hustled her in positions. Ariel Lipsky split decision. Like these aren't bad losses. She beat Leonardo, dominated. She took out Eubanks with TKO via body kick. I can see a lot of similarities here. She's not undefeated, but she looks pretty good against. She beat Cara Rosa by a Kimura. Like these are good wins. Tamaris Vidal, she's about as green and awful as it gets. Like she went to a split decision with Montserrat Rendon. Arguably should have lost that unanimously. Um, yeah, she doesn't really do a whole lot. She gets stuck on bottom. Um, she can be dangerous, but for the most part, she's pretty crap. She has a win over Zindarova. That's the girl I'm thinking of. Yeah, it is. Who isn't that great, so it doesn't really age all that great. All I'm gonna say is Vidal. I maybe it shouldn't be as wide, but I just think Gatto is the better fighter. So I'm gonna lean Gatto, not lean. I'm gonna heavily favor Gatto here. I feel like she wins this fight by unanimous decision or submission. Um, but yeah, Tamaris Vidal could pull an upset, so don't put too much of your eggs in one basket here with Gatto. Could be volatile, but she should win this one. Moving on, we got Umar Sai taking on Tokkos. A new fight added to the card. People are giving it a lot of crap. Tokkos hasn't really rightfully earned his spot, but beating a guy like Umar Sai will definitely be a great way to do that. He has a TKO via arm injury win over Myron Dennis, who isn't that great. He has another win over Brian Jackson, who isn't that great. He's been active relatively since his loss on Road to UFC, and he can be relatively dangerous. The only issue I have with him is like he's serviceable, but like let's see what the public's thinking about this fight. No predictions have been made yet. Well, honestly, I gotta go with Sai, man. Like, it's not a confident pick, but I just think Sai is going to be too much, too overpowering. He's gonna take Tukos down. Short notice. It's hard to prepare for someone like Sai who's on a full camp. The guy's absolute unit, ground and pound. Um, decent experience, not the greatest. So I would give Tukos the better experience, but I'm gonna lean Sai here. I just feel like Sai is the side. He's the A side for sure, so definitely gonna go with Sai. Tukos is very battle tested, tough game, so if this line gets too out of whack, I could probably end up playing Tukos, but I think Sai is the side to win this fight. Just you know, gotta be gotta be ever so careful on these short notice fights with especially new guys coming into the UFC. We don't know exactly what to expect, so yeah. But I do think Chokos, if Sai looks at all tired, is a very live dog. So moving on though, we have who Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez. This guy is he got chinned by Jordan Levitt, which is a very very terrible look. He's not that old. He's only 32 years old, but he fights like he's in his 40s. He has some decent wins. Nico Echeverry, Luna, Jacob Rosales. He's got some decent wins for sure. And he could definitely get an upset win over Tom Nolan, but I just think Tom Nolan's just going to be too sharp on the feet. I feel like Motas causes more problems with his heavy hands, his hooks, his loopy hooks. I just feel like Victor Martinez is a little more predictable, slower, and I just don't like that loss to Jordan Levitt. No matter, it's just a very very bad loss. I know things happen in this sport, and you can't take too much stock out of every loss, but I got to go with Tom Nolan here. This is a setup fight for him. The guy is very very dangerous. All finishes pretty much. He finished Bogdan Grad, who I rate as pretty decent, so. I'm gonna go with Tom Nolan here. He had obviously not a great loss, but it is what it is. These guys from the Contender Series, have like an aura of invincibility, and then when they get hit with a real shot, sometimes it's a rude awakening. So it is what it is. Maybe he humbled himself down and he's working away on the things that got him caught. So I got to go with Tom Nolan here, younger fighter, showing more talent, and yeah, definitely a fight though that you don't want to put too much of your stock into because Tom Nolan is coming off a KO, so I would look more to props here. Even parlaying this fight, it seems like a bad idea, so definitely be careful with this one as far as how you want to play it. But definitely don't see how Tom Nolan loses this one. Moving on. Angela Hill versus Luana Pinheiro. Luana Pinheiro, honestly, I don't understand her game. Does she she's decent at putting 15 minutes together, but her cardio also doesn't allow her to. She's like she's got decent striking. Um, for the most part. Uh, she had some wins over Sam Hughes, which I like. Michelle Watterson, which was a robbery, and Randa Marcos, which was a fluke. So you don't really know how good she is. All I do know is she has a loss to Amanda Ribas by KO, which is a terrible loss. Not to lose to Ribas, but the way she lost to Ribas. I think Angela Hill is a much better striker. Knows how to put it together for 15 minutes like no one's business. Relentless cardio, tough as nails. I feel like if Luana doesn't get big moments, she's not going to win this fight. I feel like Angela Hill is just going to be too sharp for 15 minutes. I feel like she's going to piece her up for 15 minutes, potentially finding herself a TKO, but I highly doubt it because Angela doesn't really finish people. So, got to go with Angela Hill by decision. Could see a robbery. Another case of that. Angela's been robbed a lot in her career. I know it's hard to just back Angela here, but I think Angela wins this fight. Definitely a volatile fight, but I'm gonna go Angela Hill here. She's just shown more, things to like in her game, and I know the record is very ugly, but Luana Pinheiro has, hasn't really beat anybody, and all her wins are kind of suspect in the UFC. So got to go with Angela Hill here. Maybe the trend of suspect wins continues. She gets another robbery win over Hill this time. So and I'm very, very careful about that. That's why I'm not doubling up on Hill. But we'll get into that. If you're in the VIP chat, we'll talk a lot more about that. But yeah, this fight is definitely an interesting one. Be careful about this one, especially live betting it. Moving on, we have Adrian Yanez versus Benicio Salvador. Salvador, excellent, excellent, excellent at being long, using his range, but he doesn't have enough activity. He lets fights get away from him. He gets stuck on bottom. He's got decent jiu-jitsu. I don't think he's got to worry about the wrestling with Yanez, but Yanez coming up a weight class from flyweight. I feel like Yanez is going to be, a big test for him coming up a weight class. I'm going to go with the upset of Vinicius Salvador. For now, I know it's a very controversial take. I mean, Yanez should win this. He's my pick, but as a bet, I just feel like Vinicius Salvador. I feel like 2-1, 3-1 at most. Anything over that, I feel like is value for Salvador. Yanez has not proved his worth at -400 unless it's again complete bums. And I'm not convinced Salvador is a complete bum. I mean, he's not great, but he's not a complete bum in my opinion. I think Salvador could definitely make this a tricky fight, make this a competitive fight on the feet. So I'm gonna go with Adrian Yanez, Yanez by my official pick, just because that's what the UFC wants, who they want to win. But as my official bet, I'm gonna give out uh, Benicio Salvador. I just feel like he's gonna pull off an upset, and I think the weight cut, not having to cut so much weight, is gonna do him well here. Definitely interesting fight though. Value wise, it's on Salvador's side. Prediction wise, I'm on the Yanez side. So a bit confusing, but I hope you guys understand that. Um, yeah, Benicio Salvador. I know, I know his record isn't great, but it's not also the worst, and he knows how to put it together. So I'm pretty excited for this fight. I don't even know what to say about this fight really. Like in confidence. I can't, like I honestly. Moving on, we got uh Ramiz Brahimaj versus Themba Gorimbo. Uh, Pretty good fight, man. Ramiz is coming off a spinal injury, and I feel like if he doesn't get Themba out of there in the first round, I see Themba running away with it with his cardio. I feel like he's gonna push a better pace than Ramiz, and I like Themba to win this fight by decision. Could get subbed early, but I'm gonna go with Themba by decision. I feel like he's got the race resources of backing him now. He's got The Rock. He's got uh, Kobe Covington, other guys from MMA Masters supporting him. I feel like this guy's you're gonna see a better and better Themba every time. Whereas Ramirez is you're gonna see the same Ramirez. He's got some decent wrestling, decent grappling as well, back takes. But for the most part, with Ramirez, he's round one or bust. He gets very tired. Losing to Court McGee is a very bad look. Um, I just think Thumba's a younger, hungrier version who's going to outgrind him over the 15 minutes. I got to go with Thumba Gorimbo by decision. Definitely a tricky fight to call, though, so I wouldn't be shocked to see people taking the Burmese value side, but I just think Themba should win this fight. Um, and I feel like this might be the last chance we get Themba at pretty respectable odds. So I would take the Themba shot if I were you guys. But yeah, this is definitely a fight where I could see Ramiz, getting an early submission win. That's usually when he gets his submissions. He's a pretty good grappler. Say Sayud's a good corner man. Knows how to corner his guys. So definitely a trippy fight, but I'm gonna go with Themba Gorimbo here. I just gotta go with who the UFC is pushing, and I just think Themba is a little bit better than Ramiz. But we'll see what happens. Moving on, we have Carlson Harris taking on Chaos Williams. Another really interesting fight. Chaos Williams has the death touch, very very good power, decent boxing. He's aggressive, comes forward. Doesn't kick a whole lot, mostly leg kicks. The guy knows what to do when he wants a KO. He swings heavy, and the guy has decent takedown defense, decent get ups. The gray areas I'm a little worried about, like the transitions. I feel like Carlson Harris knows how to be funky with his grappling and get to good positions where Chaos might find trouble. Um, We'll see though. I'm gonna lean Chaos Williams here, but I'm not confident. It's a very very slight lean. I think Carlson Harris is a very very dangerous guy. Can be dangerous on the feet, but mostly on the ground. He's got really good jiu-jitsu. I think Carlson Harris could get a submission on Chaos, but I'm going to go with Chaos either by TKO or decision. I think he's just going to be too fast, and I feel like he's going to have a good game plan going in there. I do worry with what they do in the spare times. Chaos is a real estate agent, worried about other things than besides fighting, and Carlson fighting's his whole life. So honestly, I'm a little bit torn with that one as well, but I do think Chaos skill for skill is a little bit better. I know the what should have been a loss to Bedoya was hard to watch, but I just think Carlson Harris can't strike like Bedoya, and I think he's going to need to out wrestle Chaos in order to get him down and implement his game. I don't think Chaos is going to let him do that. Got to go with Chaos Williams here. Not confident, but I just think Carlson Harris is hit or miss, and this is one of the times where I think he's going to miss. So gonna lean with Chaos Williams here, but wouldn't be surprised to see a Carlson Harris submission win. Moving on, we have the main event: Edson Jr. Barboza versus Laurent Murphy. Laurent Murphy is an absolute stud. I mean, he's a little bit less technical than Sadiq Yusuf, but I think he might have more talent. If that makes sense. Laurent Murphy knows how to put it together. 15 minutes. He should have lost that Gabriel Santos fight, but I think it's a different style of fight. Very heavy kicking style from Barboza. I think Murphy should be able to deal with that all right. I lean Murphy, but purely only because of the age of Barboza being 38 years old. I don't know how he's going to look. I know we just saw Ferreira look great at 39, so age is only a number. I do think Lerone Murphy, I don't think he's going to mix in the takedowns, but I feel like he can if need be. But I don't think that he would. I think it's going to be mainly a striking affair with potentially Edson getting a KO. I'm going to go with Lerone Murphy by decision, but I would not be surprised to see Edson get a highlight reel KO. Lerone Murphy can be hittable, and lesser people have rocked him, so I feel like Edson Barboza could definitely do the same. Barboza, man, this was 3 years ago. I would be all over Barboza, but it's not, and Barboza for all the time could be coming up. He doesn't take damage all that well, and yeah, this is a really really hard fight for both men. I think Laurent Murphy's going to come out the win, outpoint him, outwork him. do more of each on the ground on the feet. I think Edson Barboza is going to need to do a lot more to win this fight, whereas Thurl Murphy's always doing more without even trying. So definitely, I'm pretty excited for this fight. This is one of the fights of the week for me. Um, yeah, I think this fight's going to potentially be fight of the night. Um, we'll see though. But let's give you guys my top five most confident picks. Number one is Tom Nolan. Number two is Melissa Gatto. Number three is something. What is it? Umar Sai. Number four, Angela Hill. Or no, it's yeah, Angela Hill. Number five, Emily Ducote. Alrighty, guys. Like, subscribe. You know the drill. And I'll see you on the next one.